First Chronicles 18, David's kingdom is strengthened. After this, it came about that David defeated and subdued the Philistines, and he took Gath and its villages out of the hand of the Philistines. He defeated Moab, the Moabites. He went through and it says what he took. The Armenians. David put military outposts among the Armenians in Damascus, and the Lord helped David wherever he went. He took the shields of gold from a bunch of different cities here. He's going through and defeating people. He also dedicated these to the Lord, set them apart for sacred use with the silver and the gold. And Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, David's half-sister, defeated 18,000 Edomites. He put military outposts in Edom. So David reigned over all Israel and administered justice and righteousness for all his people. And a little bit more history in that. I feel like that's real short, so let's do one more, okay? 19. David's messengers abused. Now it came about after this that Nahash, king of the Ammonites, died, and his son became king in his place. Then David said, I will be kind to Hanan, son of Nahash, because his father was kind to me. So David sent messengers to confront him concerning the death of his father, and the servants of David came to the land of the Ammonites to comfort Hanan. But the leaders of the Ammonites said to Hanan, do you think that David has sent people to console and comfort you because he honors your father? Have his servants not come to you to search and to overthrow and to spy out the land? Then Hanan took David's servants, shaved them, cutting off half their beards, and cut off their garments in the middle as far as their buttocks, and sent them away in humiliation. That's interesting. When David was told how the men were treated, he sent messengers to meet them, for they were very humiliated and ashamed to return. So the king said, stay in Jericho until your beards grow back, and then return. That'd be a long time. When the Ammonites saw that they had made themselves hateful to David, Hanan and his people sent 1,000 talents of silver to hire for themselves chariots and horsemen from Mesopotamia and a couple other countries, and they hired for themselves 32,000 chariots. And the king of Maacah and his troops who came and camped before them. When David heard about it, he sent Joab and all the army of courageous men. The Ammonites came out and lined up in battle formation at the entrance of the city of Medeba. Interesting. While the king who had come were by themselves in the open country, and the Ammon and Aram are defeated. Now when Joab saw that the battle was set against him in the front and in the rear, he chose warriors from all the choice men of Israel and put them in formation against the Arameans. The rest of the soldiers he placed in the hands of Abishai, his brother, and they lined up against the Ammonites. He said, if the Arameans are too strong for me, and you shall help me, but if the Ammonites are too strong for you, I will help you. Be strong and let us show ourselves courageous for the sake of our people and for the cities of our God, and may the Lord do what is good in his sight. That's a good way to approach everything, right? May the Lord, could you imagine if you said that and I said that? May the Lord do what is good in his sight. Instead of us bringing about anger, us bringing about, they're going to pay me back, they're going to pay for this. Could you imagine if he said that? Trusting. So Joab and the people who were with him approached the Arameans for battle, and they fled before him. When the Ammonites saw that the Arameans fled, they also fled before Abishai, Joab's brother, and entered the city, Medeba. And then Joab came to Jerusalem. When the Arameans saw that they had been defeated by Israel, they sent messengers and brought up the Arameans who were beyond the Euphrates River, and there was a commander of the army. When this was told to David, he gathered all Israel and crossed the Jordan, came upon them, and drew up to formation against them. So when David drew up his battle array against the Arameans, they fought against him. But they fled before Israel, and David killed off the Arameans, a bunch of people. When the servant of Hadadezer saw that they had been defeated by Israel, they made peace with David and became subjects to and served him. And the Arameans were not willing to help the Ammonites anymore. So understanding that, I'm looking at the notes here, it was slander because they came and then the delegation was treated scandalously. And David's motives were slanderously attacked. Of course, there was no grounds for such suspicions. Remember, they were like, why would you come and do this? Why wouldn't David come? Wouldn't he come and try to overthrow your land? But that wasn't even true. So men who themselves act basely toward their neighbors are most likely to suspect such behavior in others. One of the marks of a godly person is that he does not slander with his tongue. Don't just assume everybody's out to get you. Don't just assume everybody's out to do evil. And so that what they did is they shaved and cut off. It says, Hebrew men were proud of their beards and scrupulously modest in their attire. The Ammonites had humiliated David's men in the most offensive way possible. Very interesting. All right, we're reading God's word. I'll see you tomorrow.